What's going on, guys? So today on this Shoky review, we're going to take a look at a new Marvel Legends figure, at least new to me. It's actually been around for a while, and it is from the Avengers wave, and this is the Marvel Now Iron Man, or the black and gold armor Iron Man. Now, I picked this up at the Lost Toys in Dallas, where they have quite a few of some slightly older waves of these figures. Now, this one I've actually never seen on the shelf. I've seen other figures in this wave, like we'll look at here in a minute, on the shelf locally. Maybe I can find them, because now that I've seen this Build-A-Figure part, I might have to break down and try to get these, or at least the Build-A-Figure wave. But of course, you got the kind of Avengers Initiative logo down here, Hasbro logo there, Avengers kind of movie logo, or just whatever. And this is the movie Hulkbuster, from what I can tell. By the way, Hulkbuster, it says it right up there. And of course, you got a nice little drawing right there of the Iron Man. Come over to the side, you get the same drawing but reversed. Come to the back, and you get a minor read-up. Ready at any time. Tony Stark's latest invention is mentally controlled liquid metal armor. I don't know if that applies to this one. This looks like just a modified version of one of the movie armors that we may have never actually seen. I think that's actually talking to the Endosyn armor, if I'm honest, which is actually pretty cool, and I don't think it's definitely not in this wave. And you got the Hulkbuster figure right there, everybody in the in the wave. You got the Marvel Now Iron Man, Marvel's War Machine. That's actually really cool. I believe that's a movie War Machine. I had that one in hand and I did not grab it. You got Blizzard. You've got Doctor Strange. I believe it just says Marvel Heroes. It doesn't actually say that Marvel Heroes. So you got Doctor Strange, Vision, which I actually was going to pick up for my buddy Arthur, but I didn't. Maybe it's still available. I'll have to check later on this week. And then you've got these two that I can't remember the names, and I'm sure people in the comments are going to tell me. But yeah, either way, really, really cool. So let's go ahead and get this out here and see how neat this black and gold Iron Man is. Oh, all right, guys. Here is the little black and gold Iron Man, and this thing is actually really pretty dang cool. I like the colors. The black and the gold are just pretty. The only thing I'm not really digging on is the reactor. So he's got the kind of reactor going on in the chest. It looks like a crappy sticker, if I'm totally honest, but I don't believe it actually is. Also, this chest is incredibly loose. I don't know if that's indicative of all of the Iron Man figures or just this one. I do have one other Iron Man figure. It's one of the more modern ones, and I have not opened it yet. I got it from Arthur in a trade. Now you got the mostly molded in black, but there's a little bit of black paint. You got the gold paint right there. You got what appears to be like these tampoed on eyes. It matches this. Really hard to tell on top of the gold, but I really do dig that. It is definitely a lot more like the Iron Man movie armor. You got these not pegged in at all shoulder armor. That was pretty crappy, if I'm honest. The plastic is not the best, from what I can feel. Like, some of these bits just feel incredibly cheaply made. I highly doubt it, but I would almost call this a knockoff if it wasn't in all kinds of official stuff. The gold paint here on the bicep is not great over that nub, but it's looking a little bit better down here. You got red dots here for, I guess, whatever's supposed to be repulsors on the front and back of the hands, and then whatever dot happening in there. Got more of a flat color going on inside. Gold paint here on the ribs. I think this is black paint, not plastic, on the middle, because this looks like plastic, this looks like paint. Almost gunmetal, it's almost a slightly different color. Thighs, definitely got the thing going on there. And I'm trying to figure out, because that's insanely loose. Yeah, what the heck? He's got like a twin, he's got thigh rotation and hip rotation at the same time. That's a little bit awkward, if I'm honest. Another detail, he's got kind of a weird, I'm going to get you, grabby hand sort of going on this side. And then he's just got a normal fist on this side. I wish he came with two pairs of hands. That would be better. The wrist does move. I wasn't sure. Legs, got some gold paint and black. Looks like really crappy black paint, if I'm honest. And you come down to sneakers, and you got some more gold paint. So, I mean, it's actually not bad, but it feels cheap. It feels old. So maybe that's what it is. I mean, it is a couple years old at this point. But, you know, it just, the quality doesn't really feel like it's there. The head is on what feels like a ball joint or a swivel up here in the top of the neck, and definitely a disc. So he can look down like he's floating at you, and he can definitely look down at you. He can look side to side, like so. Nothing at the bottom of the neck. And we already saw the shoulder joint flip-flop. An incredibly stiff disc hinge there for the shoulder joint, and then you can rotate, probably either a mushroom peg or ball joint. Probably not a ball joint, probably just a mushroom peg. Bicep rotation there. That's the back and forth on the chest there. Double jointed elbow, like so. That's not the best look there, buddy. Wrist rotation there, along with a hinge for the actual wrist. But once again, that doesn't look great unless he's trying to be evil. I'm probably going to do that as the pose for the chest. The chest itself, as I said, is a little bit loose, so it's got to be a big old double ball joint, like tucked deep inside there. So when you got a little bit of lean, you're good, but then you don't expose a huge gap there with the way the armor is layered. So that's pretty good. Nothing below that at all. So very stiff. He can't... I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. So the hips, that won't move forward at all, but that's clearly how the hips are supposed to be designed. You can do the splits, though, like that. So that's interesting. Why can't he kick forward? Maybe you're supposed to rotate at the hip part. Okay, this is going up into it, not into the crotch. So that's different. So you can rotate at the thigh itself. But is that how you're supposed to be able to kick forward? I guess. That's really strange. And you've got a Rubik's Cube kind of situation here. You can only turn this way. Turn it all the way like that. And then you can kick forward, sort of. Yeah, that's a mess. That is definitely a mess. So rotate it that way, turn it that way. Rotate the hip, or the thigh. Rotate that back down. And maybe he can kick forward. Maybe that's... So that's actually very, very wonky. I don't like that. He doesn't actually... This is the worst designed hips I think I've ever seen on a figure. So he can't really kick forward with the way this is designed. That's incredibly stupid. I mean, I know he's a dude in a suit of armor, but come on. You can get a minor bit of spread there for that. Like so, that's all good. You got double jointed knee. It's fairly limited. Like I said, this paint looks like ass. It looks like I did this. You got some super smooth and then super rough. Ugh. I don't know. Then you got a ball. It feels like just a ball joint mounted ankle. Nothing special. No toe articulation. Just super loose. Like, I would honestly swear this was a knockoff if I didn't know any better. But he's not terrible looking, at least. Wish the eyes had a little bit more life into him. But those weak ankles are probably going to lead to him falling over more often than not. He's like, I can do this. I am Iron Man. That's pretty cool. I wish I had a flight stand or something that could hold him up. I guess I could probably rig something up with a Gundam stand if I needed to. But a Tamashii effect stand would be great right about now to get him in kind of a flight pose. Even though, once again, you can't pick the knee up, so it might be pointless. So let's look at his other accessory, or rather I should say his only accessory, if he's going to stand. And it is a brick. And I mean, this thing is a brick. Obviously, it's nearly as tall as the Iron Man figure itself, and it is super solid. I swear this entire base section here has to be nearly all one piece. You got a giant, chunky, double jointed knee that clicks down there and can click up here. That's insane. And you have a huge R right there, so you know it's the right one. And then you got a big angular ankle, basically one just big kind of disc hinge and ball joint swivel down here. Paint mostly around it, sometimes really crappy, especially back here. That could use some gold, if I'm honest. This makes me really, really want to get this Hulkbuster, though, because that's really cool. I like all this. And look at the size of this plug. So this is basically going to be a mildly posable statue, because, I mean, that is hefty. You could probably hammer in some stuff into a wall. You can hammer a thumbtack in with that, no problem. But, yeah. Iron Man is kind of lacking, but I got him because he looks cool. I really wish I'd picked up War Machine as well, though, because here's Wally, my little War Machine, as he were. Wally, that's Iron Man. He's not as cool as other Iron Man we're going to look at, sort of. Then here's Snarfy Snarf. And to look at a figure in a similar price range, because all my other Marvel figs are put away at the moment, we've got a Legacy Red Zeo Ranger who's clearly way taller. So, not a realistic human being there. But just in case for another giant robot figure, that's how big this is in comparison to a Megazord build-a thingy. Alright guys, so final thoughts wise, for the 20-ish, $25-ish I paid for this, is a little much, except for this giant brick of plastic. This makes up the cost. This is very cheaply done, if I'm totally honest, but it's a really cool Iron Man suit. I wouldn't mind actually having an Iron Man collection over a lot of these other ones. I do have the other one that Art sent me that I can review here in a little bit, and it did get him on at least a little bit of a Gundam base to see if it would hold him. Mind you, these claws don't really hold tension in any meaningful way, so he's just sort of barely dispelled. But it's pretty neat. I like it. I'm not going off the deep end with Marvel figures, but like I said, a couple Iron Man here and there probably won't kill me too bad, especially if I can get this. But, guys, if you like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. And if you want to hit that subscribe button down there, do me a favor. That'd be great. Yeah. And just moving him back a little bit. And, of course, if you want to help out the channel a little bit, go ahead and jump over on the Patreon and become a Patreoneer today, like John, Andy, Steve, Kolby, and TheKrowSama have. That'd be awesome. And you help support the channel so that I can keep affording to do things like this for you guys all the time. Not to mention, I won't have to rely on YouTube money altogether. But if you want to support the channel in other ways, but also show off that you're part of the Shoky Nation, you can totally get a Shoky shirt right up here on the screen. Everything is in the description down below for all of that. And that's it for this review. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. And remember, as always, keep on nerding.